But now it is time to bring up Claudiu from Piersica.
I'd like to thank the organizers for keeping the best for last. They asked me to give you the best time of your lives in 5 minutes or less. So I said I can probably do it in 3, so no problem. So Piersica is an innovative battery technology company. And we're trying to disrupt the space of lithium-ion battery. Oh, I've got one of these. Excellent. The lithium-ion battery is a very rich space, over $100 billion in 2023. The most important metric of a battery is the battery energy. And as you can see, this energy has increased steadily in the first 20 years of this technology, but now it's plateauing at the top. So this is Piersica's mission, to revolutionize the chemistry of the battery so we can go beyond these conventional energy limits that the commercial battery has. What are some emerging technologies for lithium-ion battery? And we compare everything with the energy of cars and airplanes for you here, which is that box. So lithium-ion, the energy of lithium-ion has improved over time. It is now at about half the energy of cars and airplanes. And the next generation battery with the silicon anode in yellow sort of bridges the gap. But in order for a battery to have the same energy with cars and airplanes based on combustion, it needs 2 technologies, a lithium metal anode and solid electrolytes. And this is the technology where Piersica innovates. And based on this technology, we can offer nearly 3 times the energy of lithium ion. We're not alone in this race. A lot of other companies try to do similar things, but they all use outdated material which are already commercial. So they purchase commercial materials and try to spin new batteries, new technology based on commercial materials. For example, the only solid-state battery from Blue Solutions, commercialized in 2010, uses a material invented in 1973. Solid Power, which is another unicorn in the space, uses a material invented in 1980. We are the only company in this space which introduces a new material, and we own the IP for it. The MVP is a new lithium conductive polymer. It has higher conductivity, higher safety, and lower cost. It is fully back compatible with conventional lithium ion. It can be used as binders. And from this material, we make solid-state separators which don't have any flammable electrolytes, so it's very safe. In terms of cost, we are very competitive. You can follow the numbers in green. We are towards the bottom in both in terms of cost per kilogram and cost per kilowatt hour, which is a measure of energy. And you also have the conventional liquid electrolyte battery in there, so you can see it as a reference. We're about 5 times cheaper. The company focuses on B2B commercialization. During prototype development, which for us has already started, we want to license our only technology and materials, such as the polymer that I mentioned. As we enter pilot manufacturing, perhaps in a couple of years, we want to enter small markets such as wearable and electronics. And as the battery improves in the marketplace, only then can we enter commodity markets such as EV or long-distance electric flight, which is now impossible with lithium-ion. The company raised $1.5 million in 21 from venture capital groups. We won 4 grants in 22 for an additional $1.5 million, and we're wrapping up now a $2 million round at a $20 million valuation. So we have just starting the prototype phase. The bulk of this $2 million is to buy some equipment, and this is the focus now, the prototype. The grants come from the Department of Energy, National Science Foundation, and we have 2 contracts with the US Army and the Air Force to develop high energy density batteries for them. Our R&D works in step with Synthonics Chemicals, a company in North Carolina, and we do a lot of testing with Florida State and also Argonne National Lab. We have a very experienced executive team. All of us come from the industry with deep roots in battery manufacturing or chemicals for batteries. We're not an academic startup. To sum it up, we develop substantial technology. Because of our background in the battery industry, we have very prudent use of capital, much cheaper than the typical startup. We always raise money at reasonable valuations. We have strong patents for our technology, such as the polymer. and we already see significant monetization potential for this polymer material. Thank you.
All right, judges, these are your final questions for the day. Go ahead and hit him.
Are you increasing energy density, power density, or both?
The focus is energy density. This is the main adoption parameter for a new battery technology, energy. It's not safety, it's not cost. The battery with the highest energy always gets adopted and displaces everything else.
So is your power density staying about the same with what's best on the market, or is it dropping? Are you giving up power density to get more energy density?
Yeah, this is always a drawback. High energy density batteries usually have lower power, but we have very innovative technology at the anode, which I didn't discuss here, which enables high power as well. But there's a drawback. You cannot have both high power and high energy in a battery.
What's your projected volume quantity to break even in the first phase?
Well, for us, we're going to be raising a lot of money for many years to come. Once we get to pilot, a pilot means that you manufacture 1 to 3 million cells a year. So you already need a home for those. So we want to enter wearable and electronics for specific technical reasons with those that pilot manufacturing.
So 1.3 million units across these different sectors?
A pilot is somewhere between 1 and 3 million unit batteries.
Got it. And what would you say were the majority of these batteries in what industry?
Any industry. It's a replacement for
So
lithium
where-
ion.
What makes Tallahassee a good location for these, for you guys to set your shop here? And what's your intention? Do you want to do the R&D here? Do you want to manufacture?
Primarily cost. It is very cheap. We have our two engineers here, if you guys want to stand up. So it is very affordable to rent space. Yeah. So that is the primary draw to Tallahassee. And there's also some technical reasons. For example, Florida State has the only dry room in the southeast area. The other option was University of Michigan, which has a dry room, and the costs there are similar to what you mentioned, $10,000 for a little space like this. So,
How much more money do you need to get to where you can probably put them into wearables? I mean, how much money beyond this $2 million you're raising today?
so the 2 million round is almost wrapped up. The next round next year is 10 to 15 million because we'll have prototype. Our valuation jumps significantly with prototype. For pilot, we need to raise somewhere between 30 and 50 million.
So how does $15,000 move the needle for you?
My job is to pitch and generate interest in the company. So it moves the needle with various costs that we have. Everything moves the needle. So we have very small raises and we stay very lean. This is something that we pride ourselves with.